Welcome to Traffic Talks. I'm Adam McCabe, content producer here at Traffic. Our topic today is The Mission Continues, how nonprofits will succeed during the coronavirus crisis. Let's meet our panel. First, we have Autumn Strier, the co-founder and CEO of Miracles for Kids. Good afternoon, Autumn.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure.
Also joining us, we have today's host, President and CEO of Traffic, Anthony Tremino. Hello, Anthony.
Morning, Adam. And thank you for joining us, Autumn.
Looking forward to it.
So I'll go ahead and hand it over to Anthony now.
Yeah, let's get started. Autumn, you and I have known each other for years. You know, I'm a big fan and advocate of Miracles for Kids. But for those that are listening and watching that aren't too familiar, can you describe Miracles for Kids and kind of what the mission is?
Sure, I'd love to. So Miracles for Kids provides aid to low-income families with critically ill children. So that's like a generic statement that basically says that when you have a family with a child that's been diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, your world is impacted. It's decimated, really. Miracles for Kids stands beside every family along what is a multi-year process of going through treatment and recovery.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys do a lot of good work. We're proud to stand in support of that work. It's tireless work, and we appreciate you out there on the front lines doing that good work. I have to imagine that the pandemic that we're experiencing, the global crisis, and obviously, you know, here in the United States, it's impacted Miracles for Kids as an organization and the families that you serve. How has this crisis impacted the organization and, equally as important, the families that you serve?
Right, that's an incredible question, honestly, because if you think about the pandemic in general, you imagine businesses closing and you wonder what sort of the slow impact and then the global impact is going to be. And then all of a sudden, you know, here at Miracles, we sat back and we said, well, wait a second, what kinds of families do we have? Where are they getting their funds from? So we started doing phone banking, and as it turned out, just as early March at this point, most of our families are hourly workers. If you can imagine a family that has a sick child at home, plus other siblings, they want to be home during the day. So our families were largely the ones that were working in the restaurants, the hotels, the event venues. They were doing overnight jobs because it allowed them to be home during the day. So we started to talk to our families, and at this point, we're over 60% of our adult caregivers who have either lost a job or have been notified that they are potentially going to lose a job 3 months in. In month one, it was 30–40%. It was an immediate impact, and it's just been rolling through our families at an incredible rate.
Yeah, I can imagine that a lot of the families that you serve are in the hospitality industry, restaurant industry, two industries that have been just decimated through this crisis. So I can imagine the fallout has been severe and significant within your population. So, you know, I'm assuming that the crisis has impeded on fundraising and efforts. You've probably had to postpone events. What are you doing, and what are other organizations like yours doing to continue to meet fundraising goals? I'm sure it's difficult.
It is difficult, especially since here in Southern California, you know, largely based on weather, but also access to such a wide donor base, we are all event driven. We all do events. They're walkathons and bikeathons, and they're outdoor picnics, and they're large galas like the ones that, you know, Traffic has supported for so long. And then in our case, there's a few of us charities in Southern California that also travel overseas. We go, well, not overseas, but we go down to Mexico every year, and we have a large fundraiser that benefits a few of the main charities here. That was canceled, and our golf tournament and other community events canceled as well. So in Q1 and Q2, the numbers, you know, they're 7 figures at a loss for our organization. I can only imagine what has happened to smaller organizations, and there are over 5,000 registered here just in Orange County. Those numbers obviously have hit us incredibly. We're trying to pivot. Pivot's, you know, my new favorite word. We readjusted, we changed, we in early March did what I call rapid response, more of a knee-jerk reaction. We basically shut down anything else we were doing and moved all funds directly into families to give them access to rent payment, food delivery, gift cards to try to keep them home, ordering groceries online, and then the phone banking, which has been incredible. So we serve over 300 families on any given day. We're calling them every single week. What's going on? How's it going? Is anybody in the hospital? We, of course, have had children get COVID, and we've had some that have been in the hospital for a long period of time. We luckily haven't lost anyone yet, but we are trying to monitor it. And if you can imagine families that are low income, you know, they're not on their computers all day. They're not listening to the news all day. They don't necessarily know how to get unemployment, how to register for PPP. They don't know or don't have access to a lot of these things because right now with a sick child, that's not their priority. So we're trying to bridge the communication gap as well. All in a time when, to your point, Anthony, fundraising is down because our donors are also trying to maintain their worlds at home and their businesses.
Yeah, it's a tough balance as you know, these donors are grappling with their own personal experiences, finding that balance between like survival and still helping to fight the causes that they support. So on that topic, what are you hearing and seeing from donors? Have you seen any giving patterns change? Has it gotten worse, better, flatline? What's going on with the giving patterns? What are you seeing?
Well, you referenced the restaurant industry. Of course, we have a lot of friends in retail, restaurant, and hospitality that have been, you know, supporters for maybe a decade, if not longer. None of them are able to support us at this point. And of course, it's heartbreaking because, you know, our mission is very close to them. It's possible they've had employees who have, you know, been in receipt of our services. Many of our corporate donors come to us because they've had an employee who has a need. So really, it's about trying to find new sources of revenue from those industries that are doing well during this incredible pandemic. And you look at artificial intelligence companies, you look at med and tech, you look at medical device. A lot of those are new relationships we're trying to build in a time when our traditional supporters really need to sit back and, you know, it's heartbreaking to them, but unable to support us right now. And of course, committed to when they can. But those phone calls are unfortunately daily at the moment. You know, hey, we got your request for help. We can't at the moment, hope to in the future. So there's a lot of research. You know, I'm a little bit of a news junkie anyway, but I'm reading, watching, listening to all kinds of things I didn't used to so that I can try and find new ideas, new people that maybe I could reach out to that are doing well right now and looking to support where they can.
Yeah, with a lot of your events where you generated a lot of your fundraising postponed or canceled, I have to imagine that fundraising methods will change and kind of what the rest of 2020 looks like will change. Do you think that the way that we give is going to change permanently? Or do you think that it's just temporary based on the fact that these big fundraising events can't go on for now?
You know, I think it's a delayed response. I think right now, maybe for the next 12 to 18 months, we certainly are going to be taking a more acute look at how we run events. We have our largest fundraiser of the year in October. I have no idea what that's going to look like. So reaching out to our sponsors and donors saying, trust me that I'll keep you safe if we do end up together physically, but know that no matter whether or not we are together, our families are in need and I still need your support if you can give it. But on top of that, you know, I'm a little bit reminded of 07, 08. Miracles was just starting back then. And I did see a shift then, as I'm seeing now, companies looking at human services. If you have your choice, unfortunately, between the tree, the spotted owl, and a sick child in a time where you have to be discretionary with what you can give your $20 to, gratefully, it's going to children and it's going to families in great need. So it's my hope that as everything shifts, as it inevitably will, Miracles will be okay as long as we continue to share our message, advocate, and really, you know, get folks focused on what's happening to our families because you don't innately know what happens. You're not thinking about it maybe. So it's our job to tell that story in as many avenues as we can.
I know personally you have a big volunteer network, staff, ambassadors. what are you doing to stay engaged with them, keep them motivated, keep them focused on the goal, on the vision, in an environment where you can't necessarily congregate like you used to? How are you still engaging your volunteers, brand ambassadors, and staff?
Well, we moved a lot of our platforms to digital. We were lucky in the sense that we'd spent the last year to 18 months fundraising to move to cloud-based fundraising, cloud-based software, and we were in the process of launching a giving circle, which was physical and is now moving to a digital platform where we can connect donors in small dollar amounts on a monthly basis and hopefully grow en masse over time in a way that it can replace a revenue stream that we will now inevitably lose in the short, if not long term. Volunteers, it's a lot of social media. You know, I think we don't probably talk enough about it on the nonprofit side because marketing, social media, having a social media staff person seems like a luxury. It's now an absolute requirement. I have a young, brilliant woman who's out of college last fall who started with us, and she pivoted to be one of the most important people here at the office. She does videos at home in her dad's office. She does stories. She talks to our staff constantly who are phone banking. She's got something coming out once, if not twice a day. And then we are trying to take that and move it into e-newsletters and move it on to any other platform like LinkedIn into more of a thought process so that we can talk to business leaders as well. We're really trying to take any content and readjust it to meet whatever age and business demographic there is, just so that we can try and get engagement. And we've moved money into digital marketing as well, although we're looking for Google ads and other things that, you know, the digital community is offering at a low price. I think we have to, otherwise we'll lose conversations and someone else will start them. And we can't afford that.
Of course, you got to stay top of mind. I think you guys are doing a great job at that. You know, as entrepreneurs, you and I spoke to Ed Lee from Wahoo's earlier today about staying optimistic, right, in uncertain times. So each and every day, you and I have to get up and we have to have an optimistic outlook on what we're doing, why we're doing it, and the future of our business. As you think about the future of Miracles for Kids, what are you most optimistic about? What are you excited about on the other side of this? What keeps you going?
Well, I think so. To start with, I think I'm the luckiest person in the world because I get to wake up each day with an incredible feeling of excitement because I have families to help. And, you know, I might not know the answer on any given day, but I'm excited to find whatever the next solution is. There's going to be a new way to support families. There's going to be a new way to get messaging out. There's going to be a new way to fundraise en masse. I have no idea what that is, but you know, one of the good examples just last night, I don't sleep very much right now. I'm not sure I really have been sleeping a lot in general, but
Call me, I'm up. Seriously.
I had this crazy idea that, okay, I can't have 500 people at a hotel, right? Maybe I can have 5 groups of under 50 in someone's dining room with a massive screen and some digital performer somewhere, and we pipe it all in together, and we're together, but we're not together. You know, I mean, these kinds of things that just pop into my mind and yours and everyone else's. It's like, okay, so there's a new normal. We don't know how long it's going to last, but I think that's the best part about being an entrepreneur is you can just say, you know what? I might fail, probably going to fall down a couple times, but it is worth a try. So I think the most exciting thing is trying. Even if you do fail, you'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, I think that's the most exciting part for us too, is really thinking about innovation, how to innovate. And so you were saying pivot. I've been using that word for years, pivot, calling an audible, you know, it's all the same thing. It's really shifting direction, right? It's reading the environment. It's reading our industry and understanding how to pivot, adapt, call an audible, change with the times, change with people, change with technology. And the reason why you've been successful over these years, the reason why other entrepreneurs are successful and others aren't, is the ability we have to pivot and to change and to alter. You know, not everybody can do that. Not everybody's comfortable doing that, but it's so essential and critical. I think that this time period has taught us what we should already know as entrepreneurs, is that the only thing certain about life is the uncertainty of life. And we have to build into our business model the flexibility and nimbleness to adapt and change to market situations and environments. And so, yeah, I'm just as excited about innovation and what this will, the creativity that will come to the surface from many different industries on how to approach the new normal. So yeah, we're definitely aligned there, and really excited about kind of the other side of this, and we're getting close. We're getting close. Lastly, you know, the need is great, what you guys are doing, and the work is never ending. What do you guys need most right now, and how can people help right now?
So one of the pivots, of course, our favorite word that we did is we took a plan to roll out a monthly subscription box to donors using products as a way to fundraise, and we moved it to families. So now we are shipping out over 300 boxes every month filled with face masks, sanitizers, needed products, gift cards, Rubik's Cubes and things to keep the kids mentally engaged at home. Everything and anything you can think of, we are trying to solicit on an ongoing basis so that we can put them in boxes and ship them out. So we recognize that not everybody can write a $20 check right now, a $100 check, whatever it is. But what they can do largely in companies is donate product. So if there are any companies that have any types of products, home goods, anything you can think could be used by a low-income family, we're hoping to get, you know, our ask out to say, hey, you know, send us something. And if it's a restaurant, maybe it's a $20 discount, you know, to where once restaurants open, a family can go in and maybe get a discounted meal or some money toward a meal. We're going to be ramping up our volunteer programs. As it turned out, we moved into a new location right before this all hit. Largely so that we could host volunteer programs. So we have a large space where everybody can social distance and still engage in volunteer and community support. We're going to need that because right now the staff here, you know, I love the staff. They've been working 3.5 months straight. We're doing all the staff work, the volunteer work, the night work, the delivery work. So we're excited to get all of our volunteers back on site and helping us so that we can really get all of this, you know, needed resources and supplies out to our families. So that's one of our greatest needs. I mean, it's always fundraising, but on top of that, we're a hands in the dirt kind of organization. So we need everything. And it all has, you know, a place for, you know, someone to help is, you know, definitely something we're focused on here.
Yeah, I think that's a great call out to our business network. If you have supplies, extra inventory, food, gift certificates, it doesn't just have to be money. Like saying, Autumn, it can be help in any way you can. And so we'll put your website address up. You guys have to visit Miracles for Kids, get engaged, get involved, and help in any way you can. Like Autumn said, the need is great, and no amount of participation is too small. So thank you for the good work that you're doing. Continue to do. We continue to stand in support of you and your effort, and are proud supporters and sponsors of the noble work that you're doing, and will continue to be through this crisis on the other side as well. Thank you for joining me. I so appreciate you and your organization. So thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. It's great to have companies like you alongside us, and honestly, we couldn't do it without you. So we are indebted. We appreciate it, and we look forward to it.
Sure.
Thank you, Autumn. Thank you for your time. That's all we have for today's Traffic Talk. If you have any questions for our panel, like Anthony said, we're going to post some Miracles for Kids information on the website. Or if you'd like to work together, you can always find us online at wearetraffic.com. We'll see you on the next Traffic Talks. Thank you and take care.
Thank you, Autumn. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.